Good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning to you. Good morning. Ah, good morning. This is a pretty provocative title, so I will keep it to a minimum. Okay, this is a pretty provocative title. I will keep it to a minimum. I will keep the jokes funny. This is a roast. This is a roast. Okay. Good morning, good morning, good morning. This is a roast. So, I have been in Tallahassee for the past 6 months. While living in Tallahassee, I encountered a thief by the name of Louis Buck Chambers. He had a property for rent, a commercial property for rent. I put money down to reserve and keep the place because he wanted to fix the place. He never fixed the place. I never moved into the place. When I took him to court, he stood in court and said I never moved into the place. He never fixed the place like he agreed. He's an older man. He's an older African American man. So when he said to me, "You have my word," I really believed Louis Buck Chambers. I really believed that he was an honest person. But let me tell you something. Once I started walking around the hood and I started mentioning his name, the people are like, "Oh, that's an old thief." Oh my God. So the people in the hood, they know Louis Buck Chambers is an old thief. So why is he still walking around cutting the arms of women like me? Cutting the fingers of women like me, because that's what you do when you steal money from a woman like me. You cut my arms, you cut my fingers. I don't want to prolong because I had talked about this story before. When I took him to court, Louis Buck Chambers came to court with the rhetoric of destruction. He came to court with testimony from people who did not even show, but he had the nerve to say, "Hey, William Perkins said this." William Perkins is the Bell's Bond in Tallahassee on Boulevard Street. Louis Chambers mentioned their names, not I. Louis Chambers mentioned another name. Porphyria Range said this. I never met Porphyria Range. So what the fuck could she have to say about me? Oh, Louis Buck Chambers mentioned another name. William Range the Fourth said this. Oh, all these motherfuckers have something to say, but you here alone, Negro. You are here alone, old slave. You are here alone. You're just like an old freaking Negro spiritual. The person who's gonna sing you is probably gonna be alone. That's what the fuck you are at the end of the day. And for your wife and your children, you have been an old thief. And your wife and your children, they keep eating the fruits of the labors of a thief. What do you mean? As they were ganging up against me, they also got someone else involved. My business is located in a location. The guy who's the business next door to me happened to be their drug dealer. Do I have something against drug dealers? Hell no. Do I know drug dealers? Well, allegedly, a few people I know are drug dealers. Is it my business? Hell to the fucking no. It's an allegation that I never want to get into. So I don't have a problem with drug dealers. If somebody wants to interpret this as if I'm declaring war on all drug dealers, so be fucking it. Because the truth is I don't. And if you interpret it as such, you will wake up the rise of the forces of nature against your own fucking self. Because I stand in my truth. And within my truth is my power. And I will not relinquish my power for anybody. I will not relinquish my honor for anybody. I will not become an old Negro slave for anybody. When I tell somebody, you have my word, you truly have my word. I'm a respectable woman. I'm an honorable woman, and so I stand to defend my honor. And if I am an honorable woman, as I state, how dare you little drug dealer step to me? You're supposed to respect me, motherfucker. You're supposed to respect me. You stepped out of bounds. So in the process of ganging up on me, I already told you how many testimonies this little motherfucker Louis Buck Chambers came to court with. And the judge allowed it. Until this day, the judge have not delivered a judgment in my case. It's been over 2 months. The judge has not delivered a sermon because the judge know he overstepped his fucking boundaries. You came to judge, not to defend. If you want to go back to become a defense attorney, go. But in the process of all this melo, in the process of all this bullshit, I'm going to law school, guys. Oh yeah. I gotta defend so much. The more I start to make more money, the more motherfuckers will step into it. I'm going to law school. So I can defend my money. I'm going to invest some money in law school. So you all, this little game you think you can play with me is only but so far, because I will be learning the law. Okay? I will be an agent of the law. Listen, I'm going to law school. Because so many of these African Americans, they are using the law to destroy a Haitian like me. Listen, the next live I do, I'm going to play the recording of Louis Buck Chambers telling me he doesn't like Haitians, telling me I need to find another place to rent. You knew you didn't like Haitians. Why did you take my money? He's a con artist. Everyone in the hood tells me he's a con artist. But the people on the front street, the NAACP niggas, they want to act like this is an honest man. He's not a fucking honest man. The hood already told me what the L is. So, to continue with the little drug dealer, in the process of ganging up on me, they loaded, and when I say loaded, they downloaded their little drug dealer on me. This is a grown male who supposedly went to fight in the armed forces. I think he's an army. This is a veteran, an army veteran. This is a man with mental illness that they loaded on me. He has so much mental illness. He is on medication. I have a nursing background. I do my assessments very well. I can still do a BP on point. I can still pull blood catheter. Listen, I got skills. And so when I have suspicions, I use my skills to confirm. And I watch this man. And I did a full assessment of this man from close and far, ask little question. This man has mental illness. This man is on medication. And this is the little drug dealer they loaded on me. Shit. Word to your fucking mother. Word to your bloody mama. And this is where the African Americans do not understand. When you overstep your boundaries, you give people the right to confirm your mother's womb. You give people the right to go into your mother's vagina and detail that shit like a car at a junkyard. You gotta respect yourself to keep your mother's respect. And that's why the African Americans, they want to talk about race. And every stranger they see in the street, they want to act like that's your fucking race. No, nigga. Your race is your mother and your father. You protect your mother's honor. You protect your father's honor. When you meet a woman like me, you don't disrespect me, because the minute you disrespect me, I'm going into your mother pussy. Little petty drug dealer. Instead of him minding his business as a drug dealer, don't forget this man has a business next to me. His business is supposedly a car bumper. He calls it I think he calls it Ray's Auto Bumper. Okay. Inside that business, he has a junkyard. So that's one business. He has an auto bumper business. That's 2. He has a parking business. That's 3. He's a drug dealer. That's 4. Most of the people who pull in, pull out, they come in to get their loot, their quarters, their dime bags. Okay? So me as a business next door, he wants my business to bear the cost of his business. So he begins to load his parking on me, everything on me, no respect. And one day when I had a problem with that, he came at me with force. He started screaming in my face, yapping in my face. He started making my business life impossible, doing little things. He started pissing in cups, leaving it in my personal little trash that's next to my personal little door. He started doing a lot of things to make my business not even work. And because he has been there longer than I, he has an alliance with the landlord. He joined the landlord in his bullshit. Don't forget, this is the guy that they have fucking with me. But if you're really a drug dealer, ain't you supposed to fucking chill, nigga? And this is why I'm mentioning the drug dealer, not because I have an issue with drug dealers, but I know for a fucking fact, when you a drug dealer, you're supposed to fucking chill, nigga. Unluckily for you, they already identified you to me as that you are a drug dealer. Unfortunately for you, you already identified yourself to me as a drug dealer, so I'm expecting you to motherfucking chill. Maybe somebody else is not expecting you to motherfucking chill, but I'm expecting you to motherfucking chill, especially when it comes to how you deal with me. Yo, this little motherfucking drug dealer, he even tried to run me with a car. This guy, this fucker drove up on me. And when I say drove up on me on the sidewalk, guys, on the sidewalk, he bullied me for a while. And then the reason why I couldn't call the police is because him and the landlord is buddy buddy. I know it's going to affect my business. And the more that they see that I have clients coming in and my business is taking off, the more they push me against the wall. The more they do little shit to me. One day, I exploded on him and I told him, how could you be a fucking drug dealer and you ain't bought shit? Yo, son, you ain't cop nothing. Yo, son. Yo, you a fucking renter. You renting a fucking garage, space. You a drug dealer. You ain't cop nothing. Not on your mama name, not on your daddy. Yo, what the fuck kind of fucking drug dealer, deranged little nigga is this? This nigga is 60-something years old, just fucking deranged, selling fucking... Yo, you should see how much drug this motherfucker sells. And I'm looking at his business. I'm like, yo, son, if I was moving all this fucking, yo, I'm not jealous, but I am like looking at this shit like with fucking wonder. How could you move so much weight in a day and you ain't got shit? You crying over, and these are things he told me. He's crying over his mama's property that his sister's got. Yo, your sister took your mama's property. You a drug dealer. You're supposed to go fix up that shit in her name. Yo, what the fuck kind of low-level drug dealers is this fucking nigga turning into? That's not what Nas told me. Yo, that's not what the firm said. Bullshit. Yo, that's fucking bullshit. Yo, you ain't even in the firm. What the fuck, yo. This little low-level drug dealer, yo, you fucking 60 years old. You've been moving up so long, son. And you're fighting your sister over your mama's property. You want to move in. You want to kick her man out. Yo, you're supposed to be dapping her man, fucking fixing that shit up in her name. He got no minds, but he's such a petty little nigga. Like, let me give you an example of how petty this little nigga is, right? And he's supposed to be a drug dealer. Yo, son, the game went. So, there's a billboard in front of the street, and the landlord told me, use the billboard. Imagine this nigga's been renting there for years. He never used that billboard. Unfortunately for me, I went to him and asked for a ladder. He's like, what you need it for? I'm like, I'm fixing the billboard. He's like, oh, well, leave me half of it. I want the bottom half of it. Yo, nigga. And then he wants all my parking. This is a guy who could have come to me and said, hey, I have an influx of customers. Can we do something about the parking? He never talked to me. He just pushed himself on me like I'm supposed to take it. He just drove his car on me like I'm supposed to let him kill me. And these men are supposed to be masons. The men who downloaded this little nigga on me, they're supposed to be mason with the fucking chess hat. Who gave you a fucking chess hat? Who gave you that little red hat with the little tassels dangling on it? If I'm not saying the name right, correct me and forgive me. Because when I was growing up, the masons were supposed to be honorable men. And if they had businesses, they were supposed to be honorable. So, shutdown went down, and by the grace of God, the people who attack me, they also suffer. By the grace of God, because God knows I don't hex people. But they are dealing with their own issues, and I will wait for this little drug dealer to get his. I will not give him anything. I cannot do anything about him. He is not my property. He is the property of Satan. And Satan will deal with him. And I promise him, Satan will deal with him. When you bother another human, you become Satan. You become the property of Satan. And you see that? Satan will deal with you. And that's what a lot of African Americans do not understand. While they are bothering other people, you become the property of Satan. You are no longer God's property. God do not involve in the petty shit. And that's how come I know this Jesus ain't nothing but the God of small things. Jesus is the God of slaves. That's all he is. The minute you remove Jesus, the slave will free themselves. And I cannot join this movement of this bandwagon of vagabonds, of hypocrites, of people who destroy other people. And I cannot do it. And I'm sending a clear message out to the Masons. Speak to your people out in Tallahassee. Please. What this little drug dealer is doing, he's talking about me too much. So he's talking about me too much. He tried to run me over. He bullies me. He's in my face. I took him to court. I took him to court for a restraining order. Let me tell you, when I took him to court, that's when I really learned. Well, I already knew, but it was another layer of fucking cake to how low an African American will go, man. Yo, this motherfucker, yo, son, yo. These NAACP niggas have no shame. These NAACP niggas have no shame. Imagine the world to become a lawyer. How hard you have to work. So I sat in this courtroom waiting for my restraining order hearing, and this judge named Monique Richardson, she was the judge. Yo, son, this judge sat down and this judge proved to me that she was part of the fucking plot to arrest me that fucking day, son. Yo, how could you go to law school and study all these fucking years, come out and serve thugs, come out and serve little petty drug dealer who's mentally deranged? How could you dishonor your law degree? How can you dishonor your oath in such petty motherfucker? Yo, son, this little... Yo, oh my God, I'm fucking shocked. I was shocked. Oh my God. I have been shocked before. But for me to watch this woman become a judge, and I have worked in judicial campaigns, I know how hard it is to become a judge. And for this woman to become a judge and to demean herself, yo, these African-American NAACP motherfuckers, they have no shame. They are just automated beings. They do what the outside sees. But inside their souls, they are shameless. Yo, this is what happened in court. And I'm going to give you the example that proved to me that this woman was just an accomplice in a petty case that any real human would just settle and give me my protection and let me go because this man is making my life miserable. He tried to kill me with his car. Okay. Among other things, he pisses in my personal trash. Like, this is becoming too much. And he's lynching his own landlord. It was my landlord, but who? And I didn't know that he was a servant of the place. Because in my country, when you have a place, someone has to be the servant. I didn't know he was the jailer, the servant of the place, the butler of the place. And so, the judge named Monique Richardson, this is what she stated at the beginning of court. She stated, I'm going to call all the cases, and then the cases who are going to hearing, they will be called again at the end of the roll call. Do you know that this woman, she called all the cases, left me out. And she left me out. She did not call my case. And she began to call the hearings, the trials. What she's doing is she's working super fast to clear the room so she can deal with me alone so there could be no witnesses, so they could turn off the cameras. I have seen this shit done before. And I'm sitting there, I'm watching Monique Richardson trying to take away my children's mother. Monique Richardson, Monique Richardson, where is your mother's vagina, Monique Richardson? How can your mother's vagina produce a woman like you who tried to take away my freedom? How can your mother's vagina do that shit to me and you think I can honor her? I can honor you. Ay. The blouse and skirt slaves are doing me crazy right now, son. Yo, the slaves are going at me hard. So let me tell you, this woman is working fast. And so finally I get the courage. Something rise up inside me. I said, you did not call me. Because there are still 3 people left in the courtroom, so I still have at least one witness, maybe one person who's not part of their gang. Maybe one. And she's like, oh. And I said, you did not call me. You're calling your trials and you did not call me. You're supposed to call me before you call your trials. That's what you said. She says, oh, I'm going to call you now. I'm sorry. The court of Monique Richardson is Monique Richardson and another black woman. So you mean to tell me these 2 black women forgot Yo, what Monique Richardson did in the moment, she showed me. Okay, Monique Richardson, if you were the type of woman to forget things like that, you wouldn't be where you are. You and your little black girl, you and your little black butler girl in that courtroom, you would not be where you are. None of you would be where you are right now. So don't you me. Don't you dare fuck with my freedom. You slave, you descendant of a slave, you fuck with my freedom. Yo, they wanted to isolate me and lock me up right then and there because in Florida, all they need is one of them, two of them, and boom, in the courtroom, I would be locked up in 5 minutes. And Monique worked fast. She worked fast. She worked fast. And if I didn't have the spirit in me to rise and ask for my own space, right now I would not be doing this live. This is how far the people in Tallahassee have gone with their sororities and their little Mason attachment and their little gangs. Those are all little gangs to me. You guys have been doing too much. Let it go. Let it go. You still have my motherfucking money. The judge still hasn't judged on my money. Imagine the slaves come here with the Europeans from all parts of Europe. And so don't forget I have a trailer in front of my apartment and it's the same landlord. I get a text message from the landlord who is a I forget which part of Eastern Europe he's from, but he's from some part of Eastern Europe. And the landlord tells me he's going to tow my trailer. And this is a trailer that's worth over $25,000. You're going to tow my trailer that's worth over $25,000. I already had suspicion that you want to steal it, little motherfucker. Oh, little motherfucker, you a white nigga in the USA. You're a white nigga. You come to the USA with nothing. Already you white people, get the fuck out of here. Now you want to steal from a real American. Get the fuck out of here. You people are delusional. The wrath of God will protect me. Because even when God is in fucking rage, God protects me. And Satan will unleash on all of you. On all of you. So now the little drug dealer, his pleasure is just to talk about me. Because Monique did not give me the protection I needed to do my protective order. So I have no protection. The little drug dealer, he's walking around me. And the one thing about the little drug dealer is that he's so weak. A woman like me, I watch a man like that. And I imagine like if this was a movie, if this was like Kill Bill and it was like a battle. Like imagine the movie Kill Bill and I'm the character Uma and I'm Uma, right? And he's like just a little villain and I have this large sword. This is just a movie, just a film, niggas. Play with me because you niggas imitate reality. So imagine this is just a film and I'm Uma Thurman and this little nigga is playing around and I take my sword and I take his fucking head and place it on his ass. Because that's where your head should have been in the first place. On your fucking ass. Yo, I'm going to start writing more films. So this is what these motherfuckers have done for me. I have so much more inspiration. I'm going to start writing films. I'm going to start doing a whole lot of things that I really didn't do before. Like, before I did write a scary film. But now I'm going to write like more action films. I'm going to write like dope films. I'm going to just get into it even more. Because these people have loaded my imagination with so much, son. I got karate films dancing in my head. And so now he does go around to the businesses, to the other businesses on the block, talk about me. He takes pleasure in doing it. He's such a weak man. Like, I watch this man bow down to other males just to have an opportunity to talk about me. Like, he's such a low-level mental retard. Like, where do they birth such creatures? Like, what kind of belly do you fuckers come out of? Like, what the fuck give birth to these fuckers? Do they get breastfed? Like, what the fuck, son? Yo, do you motherfuckers ever remember your mother putting the titty in your mouth and giving you breast milk? Because you need something. You need balance. You cannot start attacking people and destroying the lives of other humans. It doesn't make sense. It's not what you are here for. And you say you know God, act like it. Oh, by the way, this little drug dealer, he drives like a white Benz. That's what he tried to run me over with. And he goes to church every Sunday. You will see him in church every fucking Sunday with the green suit or the pink suit or the yellow suit. You will see him. And this is how the African American community, this is how they tolerate the cancer. This is how they tolerated Africa Bambaataa too. And then after that, when the thing becomes public, they wonder, oh, how nobody knew? Why nobody didn't? Because there is always a church to tolerate a perv. There is always a church to give a perv a van so he can drive around and molest little girls. There's always a church to tolerate some nasty Negro. And so here it is. All right, people, I'm gone. I got work to do. I got to work hard today. Shit. I got to work hard every day, but today... Oh, subscribe, like. I don't care. I don't monetize. You do what you want. I don't give a damn. Truly, I don't. I do. This is like the part where this is for me, because what I'm going through in Tallahassee, nobody should be going through it, especially with the African American population. It's too much, especially with the little gangs of the little Tallahassee Masons and the shit that they've done to me and the shit that they've talked about, the little meetings they've had. How do I know you've had little meetings? Is when I meet each of you individually in the street. The shit that you say, the shit that you do collectively, I put it together. I know exactly what the fuck is going on in your fucking base. You stop it. Stop it. You all need to back off. Now I need to back off and pay me what each of you owe me. Because it's my money. You cannot eat Shango money. You got to resolve this issue. And you know what? They are such petty humans. They have the money to pay. They just want to enslave me. Because that's all they know how to do. And they know I'm not a slave. So they want me to come to the level of dishonor, the level of immorality, the level of bullshit. You know, I'm supposed to sleep with every married man in town, fuck around, do drugs, become a Molly popping head, become a crackhead. Like, this is what the fuck they want to indoctrinate me. Yo, for that, for you to want that level for me, I can say tickle mote, tickle that. Little kid go up, little kid down, up in your mother's. Forces so crack na get mama. Get mama, no. Zoko Coca-Cola get mama, no.